Okay, hallo alle zusammen. Wir machen noch ein Video. Hi everyone, one more time. We're going to do a video. Hopefully next week we can go back to class as usual, but I'm going to base that on behavior, as I said before. So, today we're going to continue talking a little bit about the modal verbs. There's some more that I want to talk about, specifically the structure of sentences. So far you guys have just plugged modal verbs into blanks and you wrote sentences that were already sort of put in place for you from 3 separate columns. But you guys didn't actually create any sentences of your own, or you didn't create sentences with elements. So we're going to talk about the structure of the sentence, and we're going to talk about the TMP thing I mentioned before. So to start, when we were using modal verbs and when you started using them last year, or I think last year, I'm not sure when you learned them in 1A or in 1B. When you use them, modal verbs modify another verb. Okay, so they modify another verb. Sometimes that verb is dropped, and that's in situations where it's understood. So for example, if I have a sentence like, ich kann Deutsch, Ich kann Deutsch. Typically this gets translated as I know German. This doesn't mean to know, it just means to be able to. So I'm able to what German? Speak German, read German, understand spoken German. All of that is understood in this, and that's why they don't add the last word. So for example, we could have sprechen at the end, but that's the part that gets dropped. Or you guys learned how to say ich möchte, how about ein Glas Wasser? So I would like a glass of water. Now, you would like a glass of water to drink. Oops, as I write it in English, trinken. So that's why it's dropped, because it's understood that you want that glass of water for drinking. Now, of course, you could be doing something else with the water, but that is what is understood when you're saying the sentence. So sometimes it's dropped. If it isn't dropped, where did I stick it right here? I stuck it at the very end. Okay, so the modal verb is in second place. And this verb at the end is the infinitive of the verb. The infinitive in English is spelled with an E. The infinitive of the verb. Now, an infinitive is just, in English, for example, you have to be, or to speak, or to read. So when we're doing that in English, we say to in front of the verb in order to make it the infinitive. In German, the infinitive is just that full form that you find in the dictionary with the en at the end. So, sein, sprechen, and lesen. So those would be infinitives. Okay. So if I were to write a sentence like, ich tanze morgen Abend. Okay. Ich tanze morgen Abend. You have a conjugated verb in second place. Now, instead of saying, I dance tomorrow evening, what I now want to say is, I would like to dance tomorrow evening. So again, would like is what? Okay, hopefully you guys all got that. It's möchten. So you then take this verb, kick it to the end, and add an N to make it the infinitive, and you conjugate möchten for ich. So ich möchte, the rest stays the same. Morgen, Abend, and I'm out of room again. Tanzen. Okay, ich möchte morgen Abend tanzen. So what was conjugated before, the active verb in the sentence, the verb in second place, is now at the very end of my sentence as an infinitive, and I added my modal verb in second place. Okay, hopefully you guys remember that from when you first learned these modal verbs. Okay, I'm going to write down another example, and I want you guys to try to do it on your own. So I'm going to go with me. Let's just do Mike. Mike geht schon zur Uni. Okay, so we've got Mike geht schon zur Uni. That is your sentence. And then I want you guys to modify it with be able to, which is, of course, können. So I want you guys to rewrite the sentence with können in it. Okay, so in order to rewrite that sentence, you had to take this verb, kick it to the end, and make it into an infinitive. Okay, in this case, you don't just add an N, you have to change the conjugation. And then conjugate können for Mike. So that becomes Mike, remember your stem change, kann schon zur Uni gehen. Okay. Mike kann schon zur Uni gehen. Here's your other verb. Here's können conjugated for Mike. Everything else stays the same. Okay, so I hope so far that is pretty easy. Now, I have one more thing I want to talk about, and that is the time, manner, place rule. So I have often when graded probably written TMP over things or told you time, manner, place, anything of that sort. So the TMP stands for time, manner, place. So when we have a sentence in English, you could say something like, I want to go swimming at the public pool with my friends tomorrow. Okay, lengthy sentence and lots of lines. Sorry, I should have had the add down there. Actually, I'm going to make that change really quick. Okay, at the public pool with my friends. So, we've got a time phrase. We've got a place. And I know this sounds super odd, but with friends is how you're doing something. So that is the manner. Okay, so with friends in this case is manner. Okay, in English, could you say, I want to go swimming with my friends tomorrow at the public pool? You could, but it's super awkward. It's not right. So we have a certain order we put these elements in. And in German, that order happens to not be the same. So in order to say this sentence in German, you would say, Ich will, want, not want to. Okay, time first, morgen. Lowercase m in this case because it's not the morning. Morgen, manner, mit meinen Freunden. Then at the public pool. I don't think you guys have public, but it's öffentlichen. Schwimmbad. Oops. Schwimmbad. And then go swimming. Schwimmen gehen. Okay, so I'm going to highlight all these things one more time so that you see the order. So, am öffentlichen Schwimmbad, morgen, and in the middle, mit meinen Freunden. And at the very, very end, here's your infinitive. Okay, so in German, we're going to follow the sentence structure in this way. You're going to have time, manner, place for all of the extra elements in a sentence. Your infinitive still goes way behind all of that. Same if you have an object of some sort, like I'm catching a ball. And then if you're going to say, I'm catching a ball tomorrow morning in the park with my dad, if you're putting all that stuff in, that goes before the ball. But very end, very beginning stays the same. All you're going to do is time, manner, place, which kind of looks like temperature, temp. So easy to remember. Okay, I'm going to have some sentences that I want you guys to write in your composition books. I'm going to project them, but I also have a printout for you guys. Okay, so here are the 6 sentences that I want you guys to write. So you have all of the elements given to you. They're out of order completely, and you still have to go in and conjugate the modal verb if there is one, which every single one of these has a modal verb, and find your infinitive to stick it at the end. For the rest of the words, remember that you're going to go in the right order, so you're going to go time, manner, place. Please come and get me if you have questions.